Hey guys, Damien here and welcome to the Little Big Synths YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the Roland SE-02. Roland just released a new update that brings several great features to the SE-02 that made it even more awesome than ever. With these new updates, the SE-02 may just be the best synth I have ever purchased. Alright, so if you haven't already, please be sure to check out the video I made a while back where I gave you guys my top 3 reasons why I love the SE-02. This will give you guys a little overview of why I think this little synth is so awesome in the first place. And now with this new software version 1.10, there's even more to love. So we'll start by bringing up the SE-02 update manual onto the screen. This is the version 1.1 additional functions. So let's go ahead and begin at the top. And it says Bank D has been added to the patch mode. Bank D has now been added and the preset patch banks are now from A through D. So prior to the update, we had 3 factory preset banks and then a user preset bank. And to access the 4th bank, you just need to press the bank A second time and you should be able to see it flashing here. That is letting us know that we are in Bank D and we can play around with some of the newly added factory presets. So yeah, lots of presets, 128 I believe. Oh yeah, 128 new presets to go through. So if you love presets, then this update is for you. Alright, so the next one is tie added to gate input values in the step sequencer mode. So using that tie feature, you can make some smooth connections to the next step without applying the glide. We'll go ahead and switch to the sequencer mode. And I'm going to switch to a empty sequence. There you go, empty sequence. And to input a gate value, I'm going to first add in some notes. Then let's go ahead and input some new notes. Now to adjust the gate lengths and input those ties, just press the gate button. And then where I want the tie to be inserted, just need to press and hold the button. And then you can see it says tie there. We'll go ahead and add in a few more ties. there you go. There is the tie feature. I guess that was kind of acid. I'm not sure, but that kind of gave me some acid vibes. So if you're into that, that might work for you. Now let's go ahead and jump down to entering notes from a K25 or an external MIDI device in step sequencer mode. So this one is one I'm really excited about. Actually, these next few features I'm really excited about because it gives the SE-02 sequencer a little bit more added flexibility. Prior to the update, there were two ways to input notes into the sequencer, and that was by first pressing the note button and entering your steps in. Press play, and you can hear that sequence, and then you could change a note or a step that you wanted by pressing and holding it and inputting a note on the keyboard. Or you could also use the value knob to individually select a step note as well. So yeah, those were the original ways to input notes on the step sequencer, and now we have a couple of new ways. So this first new way is by entering notes from a K25M keyboard or an external MIDI device. So now you can use a K25M or an external MIDI device, such as a MIDI keyboard, connected to the SE-02 to enter consecutive notes starting with step 1. Here we have an empty sequence. So to begin entering notes, press the perform button and note button together, and now the step button number 1 will be flashing, letting you know that it's ready to receive note data. So as we press in the notes, the steps will continue to move on down. And if we want to enter an empty note, just press the button that we are on and it'll skip it. You can skip it again. And if there was a note that you didn't like, you can actually go back to that note by just pressing it and re-entering a new note. Once you have completed all 16 steps, all of the lights will clear out and you can press play to hear your new sequence. Another cool thing is that you can actually use the value knob to move through the steps of the sequence. So the second new way to input notes into the sequencer is actually in real time. So you can use the K25M keyboard or an external MIDI keyboard to record a pattern in real time. So I'm really excited about this because it kind of gives me a similar workflow to what I'm used to on the pocket operators and the Volcas. Kind of just press and record and letting the sequencer run and inputting my notes in real time. So to input notes in real time on the SE-02, press the perform button and the start stop button together. So now you'll begin to hear a metronome, and that metronome volume can actually be adjusted from all the way off to the loudest setting of 5. I'm going to go ahead and leave it at 3 and start inputting my notes in real time. So another great thing about this real-time recording is that you can actually record some of the knob changes that you make in real time as well. So let's go ahead and check that out. next new feature I'm really excited about as well, and I think it's one that a lot of us wanted, and that is pulse width modulation. So prior to this new update, you were able to modulate the pulse width of a square wave by using oscillator 3 set to a low frequency, and I would even adjust the fine tune all the way down as slow as possible as well. Take a triangle LFO, and then in the cross mod section, bring in the pulse width modulation depth a little bit here. You can hear some pulse width modulation, but there's not very much control over it since the slowest rate of this oscillator isn't very slow at all, as opposed to a dedicated LFO. So with this new update, we actually have a dedicated LFO to adjust the pulse width modulation rate and depth. So pulse width modulation LFO. This dedicated LFO is a triangle wave that modulates the pulse width of all three oscillators from oscillator 1 through 3. If a waveform other than the pulse wave is selected, modulation is not applied. So let's go and take a look at that. Switch back to patch mode. Go ahead and make sure we have a square wave selected. Let's actually go to a manual patch here. Alright, so now I have just a single oscillator running a square wave, and to adjust the pulse width modulation LFO, we're going to press the note button and gate button together. Then we'll press step button number 7, which is LFO pulse width modulation rate. Adjust the rate of the LFO. And we can actually adjust the depth of the LFO by pressing step button number 8. So this is a really awesome feature because with that pulse width modulation, you can just achieve so many more new sounds with the SE-02. Okay, so this last feature I want to talk about is a new parameter added to the song mode that can be accessed from the song setup. Okay, so to demonstrate the loop function, I went ahead and recorded a song. And this is what the song sounds like. So notice once the song finishes all of the patterns that I programmed in, it just stops. So now with this new loop function, once the song has completed all of its patterns, it will start back at the beginning and replay through. So to enable the loop function, press the note button and gate button together while you're in song mode. Press button number 5, it'll say loop off. And we're going to go ahead and use the value knob to turn it on. So now let's go ahead and press play on our song and hear the song loop over and over. So you can see how this would be very useful in creating longer sequences or patterns. Now with this new loop function, I could definitely see myself using the song mode more often. So those were the new main features that I really wanted to talk about. I'm really excited about them. Like I said before, this SE-02 is a very, very versatile synth and very fun to play with. And now with those new features, makes the sequencer even more powerful than ever. So if you own an SE-02, this is a really cool update that you will definitely enjoy. And if you don't own an SE-02, now you have even more reason to pick one up. All right, guys, well, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I put it together rather quickly. I was just really excited about this new update and kind of wanted to share it with you guys. So just stick around and stay tuned for more videos from Little Big Synths. Thanks, guys.